And I'm telling you, well, actually, it's a really lovely job. It's quite an idyllic job. Why aren't people going into this industry? There's going to be some changes in terms of what we do and what we offer. This is the start of the spring potting season. Do you guys like my hat? It's really necessary today. It's about 2 degrees outside in the polytunnel. This is the start of our spring potting season. You can see behind me there, one of our tunnels that is now completely empty. All the plants that we've overwintered, they've been moved over into the other tunnels, which are more ventilated. So that just basically hardens them off, gets them ready for you guys to get them. And they'll be moved outside soon through necessity, because these tunnels are going to be full of plants really soon. So potting season is well and truly getting underway. So it's getting quite late now, and this is the challenge, you know, working at this time of year. Not just the cold, having to wear stupid hats, but I guess in a way this is one of the reasons why not that many young people go into this job. Because let's be honest, it's a really hard job, right? I can safely say it would be much easier sitting on the sofa in front of the fire right now, like posting on Instagram and interacting with customers. You know, that's like more of my favourite kind of job, running Urban Herbs, you know. Having said that, there is a kind of weird peace that I get as I'm potting. When I say potting, what that actually means is filling these pots. So in a few months' time, if you order some plants from Urban Herbs, you might get herbs in a little pot like that. And what I'm doing is I'm hand filling a lot of pots. So I think I'm right in saying that we've got to do 1,000 trays of 20 in the next 2 weeks, something like that. Maybe I've done about 80 trays today. It's been a bit slow going because I cleaned the tunnel before I got started here. But yeah, this is definitely a hard job. We're actually going to be talking a lot more about the choices that I've made, to get to this position right now, where I'm standing in a freezing cold polytunnel filling pots with soil, because we're really conscious that not a lot of young people are going into this industry. I've had so many conversations about this over the last few weeks, and some of what I'm going to say might sound a bit controversial. I don't honestly know, I hope not, but some of the people that I've spoke to have said to me that surely that's a good thing for me, because supply and demand, like everybody's got into gardening and growing plants, and the younger generation now are really into gardening with the amazing online Instagram gardening community. But do you want to know the truth? It concerns me. I know this is a really amazing job, seriously. I worry about the future of this industry. There is huge demand for the plants that we stock. People, I think it's really important that people get those plants and they interact with them and they have the opportunity to grow these amazing plants. And I worry about the supply side of things. Labour is now quite short. We've got used to thinking that with supply and demand, we will just always have as much as we want, whenever we want it. I don't think that's the case anymore. We've seen it with the shortages of HGV drivers. You're seeing it now with the shortages of skilled tradesmen. And I think we're going to see it in the horticultural industry as well. Why do I care about that, I guess? I think that I care about this because I know just how cool this job is. I know it's a really fulfilling job, but I think it would be a shame if one day people woke up and they couldn't get their hands on plants like this. They couldn't go down that niche route that we've gone down. And I see so many opportunities for people out there at the moment. I guess it's kind of like the business development side in me that I get frustrated when I see opportunities not being taken. And believe me when I say, guys, there are so many opportunities. A few months ago, we put a shout out on Instagram and we asked people what would stop them from entering the horticultural profession or starting a horticultural business. You know what most people said? Most people said that they're not willing to take the pay cut, and that shocked me, to be honest. I understand how there can be that assumption that you would have to take a pay cut. I'm coming at it from the perspective of thinking, well, actually, the opportunities are there. And if you're willing to put the hard work in, there are so many opportunities out there. So I guess the next part of what I'm talking about here, or rambling about here as I'm potting, if there's these opportunities for financial advancement, if that's what motivates you, and I'm telling you, well, actually, it's a really lovely job, it's quite an idyllic job, why aren't people going into this industry? And I think that the answer is that they don't know how. And the reason why I say that is because I didn't know how 10 years ago, 12 years ago. Where does the time go? I didn't have a clue when I started. I didn't have a clue about the business side in terms of where I get the pots from on a practical level. I didn't know which plants that I wanted to specialise in. I knew I wanted to specialise in something, and I'm so happy that I found these amazing herbs. But I didn't know about the marketing side of things. I didn't have a clue about the journey towards that point of sale. Seriously, I didn't know where to start. Some of you will know that when I first started, I called it Andrew's Plants back then. I set up on the corner of St Mary's Church in a place called Bearwood in the Midlands here in the UK. And I paid the church like a percentage of my sales out of gratitude for being there. The church liked it because it was a bit of income for them. And looking back, it looks so amateur, but I'm so grateful for the amazing people that used to come and see me every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday outside St Mary's Church. I started to do little markets, street markets, farmers markets, and that was an education. And gradually, over time, I started to do food festivals. I started to level up what I'm doing here. And I started to realise, actually, it's a really, really short season. I started to realise that I really need to make the most of this short season in order to support my family through 12 months of the year. And we started to do larger events. We started to specialise more, doing food festivals, BBC Good Food Show. That was always a fun event, plenty of gin there. And then when COVID hit, we went online. What if that process didn't take me as long as it did? What if I'd had that bit of advice at the very start of my journey? The more that I think about it, the more I think that mentoring process isn't there in the horticulture industry. There's going to be some changes in terms of what we do and what we offer. I've took my hat off now for the really serious bit, because we're going to be offering something a little bit new over the next few months, and we're actually going to be talking about how you can actually grow your own business, how you can get into horticulture. Because we feel like it's not enough to just moan. It's not enough to say, oh, why aren't anybody going? That's great grammar, isn't it? It's not enough to say, why aren't people going into horticulture and wring hands and then not be the change that you want to see? We've had so many messages from people, young people, who are excited about having a career in horticulture. Over the next few weeks and months, we're going to be talking more about how you can get involved in this, how you can make your own business in horticulture. Step by step, practical advice. If you supply the hard work, I think with the advice that we're going to give you, you can make a success and you can actually make your dreams come true. Not tomorrow, maybe someday. TV series I really like, there's a quote, it said, sometimes someday sounds a lot like never. And that is so true, isn't it? So there's going to be big changes in terms of the content that we're putting out on YouTube. There's going to be loads of like behind the scenes footage like this. Loads. And we know you love that, so we're going to stick to that. But there's also going to be the business development content, which we know you guys have been asking for. And it's going to be really, really practical advice. Physically, how to do certain things. How to market your business, how to choose a niche, how to present it to people like I'm doing now. It's starting to get quite late now, and look at the state of my jumper. I don't know whether it looks dark in the video, but actually the phone's really bright now. It's only about 20 past 4, but it's a really short day here at the moment. So I'm probably going to give it best, head in and reply to some messages, as well as editing this YouTube. It's really getting dark now and it's absolutely freezing, so I think this is probably quite a good point to sign off on this video. It turned into a bit of a long one. Depends how I edit it, I guess. Guys, thank you so much for your time watching this video, and I'm going to go inside and warm up. Hopefully, when I do the next video, that pile of pots is going to be a lot bigger and we're going to have a lot more plants behind the camera. Thank you so much for your time watching, guys. Wherever you're watching this, stay safe, have fun, see you later.